change. On July 28, 2015, WPD Canada filed a court application about its proposed project to build 8 500-foot-high wind turbines near the Collingwood Airport. They wanted the court to force the Ministry of Environment to make a decision on their project. WPD had gotten tired of waiting, Mr. Speaker. On September 22nd, the government filed a notice with the court saying it intended to fight the application. 2 days later, on September 24th, the Ontario Liberal Party deposited a donation from WPD in the amount of $6,000. The court application never went ahead, and the ministry approved the project in February of this year. Mr. Speaker, will the minister tell us why the Liberal Party was accepting donations from WPD while it was fighting the company in court?
Minister of the Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let's just first break this down. The process involved in this involves a director's level decision which I do not and cannot interfere with. And as I said to the member from Prince Edward Hastings, it's our job to protect the integrity of the system. It then goes to the Environmental Review Tribunal,
Finish, please.
So it's fairly clear and transparent process. Second, Mr. Speaker, we have some of the strongest fundraising rules in Canada across this country anyway. And, and I've said this before, Mr. Speaker, I know all 107 members of this House reasonably well. I know them to be honourable people who are decent people who came here to be honest, to work with integrity and serve their people. And to suggest otherwise is just really, really, really low, Mr.
Thank you. Some of the comments I heard were not. I wish I could assign them to somebody, because I would. Supplementary.
Back to the minister. That $6,000 donation is the largest single donation that WPD had ever given to the Liberal Party. In March of 2014, the ministry asked WPD for an updated report on their wind turbine application. That same month, WPD donated $3,000 to the Liberal Party, their second largest donation. 2 months later, in May, WPD submitted that updated report to the ministry, and that same month, WPD donated a further $2,000 to the Liberal Party,
Deputy House
the third largest donation. Every time it looked like the project was in jeopardy, a donation was made to the Liberal Party of Ontario. These facts, Mr. Speaker, only reinforce the need for a public inquiry.
Hear, hear.
Mr. Speaker, does the minister seriously expect the people in my riding to believe that these donations had absolutely nothing to do with his approval of the WPD project?
Thank you. There's some very large temptations to speak while I'm standing and while I've gotten people's attention, and it's going to stop. Minister.
The short answer is yes, Mr. Speaker. And the second part of this, let's go back to the process. So the member who's a former Minister of the Environment knows how bulletproof these processes are. MOECC conducted one of its most comprehensive reviews to ensure WDP's proposal would meet our stringent requirements. The Ontario Renewable Energy Approval process ensures extensive consultation take place with the public, Aboriginal groups and local governments. And we extended a 6-month review over 2 years and considered 350 public and agency submissions, Mr. Speaker. And finally, again, at the point I made earlier, that these decisions are made by public officials. And, Mr. Speaker, to be very clear about this, I've been in public life municipally and provincially. I've conducted myself to a very high personal standard. And I know the member officer, Mr. Speaker. I know him to be as a person of great character, and I know him because he was a minister before, and I hope he's...
Thank you. General reminder to all members, to the chair. New question, the member from Nickel Belt.